All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to talk about Khabib's prediction, an accusation, I don't know, disturbing prediction that he made about UFC 280. And it has to do with Charles Oliveira, has to do with Islam Makhachev, has to do with Beneil Dariush. And you guys may already know the story that I'm talking about, but what you don't know is you don't know why this is a really big deal. You don't know why this would be a really, really big deal. Beyond just, you'd rather see Charles fight, because I'm sure most of you know. Well, for those of you who know, you know. And for those of you who don't know what I'm going to say, you're going to find out in a second. Hold your horses. Just relax. Jesus, if you come to this channel for succinct messages, you got the wrong guy, bro. You come here to watch me go ADD on that ass and then just to speculate, could anyone love the sport more than this guy? It seems like he's going to cry talking about the sport no matter what. And it's true. Kind of. But yeah, no one loves the sport more than me. So anyway, also things have changed on this channel. We're getting really serious this month. Like serious, things have changed now. So if you guys could go ahead and like the video, if you support this channel, I would be incredibly grateful. Maybe share it with your friends, comment, etc. That would be amazing. I'm going to put out so much goddamn content over the next 30 days. It's going to make your head spin. And yeah, we're going to do that. I'm going to start the Discord this week, like open the Discord, the public Discord. And I'm also there's something else I'm not remembering, whatever. Okay, so here's the deal. So Khabib said that Charles Oliveira is going to no-show UFC 280, okay? And he said that Beneil Dariush is going to step in, and then Islam Makhachev is going to be fighting Beneil Dariush for the undisputed lightweight championship, which is accurate because the lightweight championship was relinquished when Charles Oliveira did not make weight. And, to think what a person can lose by missing weight by a half a pound is kind of unbelievable when you consider, that Khamzat missed by 8.5 pounds. And, no big deal. No big deal. But we're done talking about that particular topic. But anyway, so Charles doesn't have the belt. So if he doesn't show, Islam Makhachev and Beneil Dariush would fight for the undisputed lightweight championship. Now, why is that a big deal? Okay, why is that a big deal? I'll tell you exactly why. I don't know why you guys watch the sport. I don't know why anybody watches the sport. But if you watch my channel often, you know why I watch the sport. And I watch the sport because I get tied up in the romanticism of the stories that exist around the fights, right? Like the stories that exist around the fights. Why is this important for this guy? Why is this important for that guy? Like what's behind this fight? Why does this matter to this person, to the people around him, to the family, etc., right? It's not every event that you get a really meaty, meaningful fight. I mean, it's always meaningful for the guys who are in there, but I mean like a story that you're tied to over a long period of time. And the Islam Makhachev story is tied to the Khabib story. And it is as simple as this. Khabib is basically Islam's adopted brother. His father adopted Islam for all intents and purposes, trained him his entire life, right? His father's vision was for Khabib to win the championship, to retire undefeated, and then Islam win the title afterwards, which would be like the ultimate validation of his training. Now, if you've ever spent time around a person who dedicates their entire life to martial arts, right? Genuinely dedicates their entire life to martial arts. I just talked about this in my other video. I'm going to do it again because he deserves it. Steve Hargett, my training professor and my friend, just won ADCC yesterday. He won with 3 strangle. I think he rear naked choke. You got 2 rear naked chokes, a guillotine, and then domination in the final. And the reason why I bring this up is because I don't know how else to even describe. I've never seen a person more dedicated to the thing that they're doing than Steve is with jiu-jitsu. It is his entire life. And I mean that in the most complimentary way that I could possibly say it. It's not just about his ability to beat the shit out of people, which obviously he can. It's like a pursuit of absolute perfection. I mean, you know, all it looks like to me is like, Jesus Christ, that is a tall fucking mountain to climb, you know? I'm still like, wait. So when I do the guillotine, what if my foot's right here? And, you know, anyway, it's neither here nor there. But yeah, so anyway, but my point is like, when you see people who have literally dedicated their entire life to a thing like that, and you just kind of wrap your brain around that, and then you have these contests where you're competing to see if you're the best in the world. It's like a pursuit of total greatness. And when you look at it through with Islam and Khabib, it's like, this is not just for them. Like, this is like, that's the thing is like, normally championship, oh my God, I did it. I proved that I could do it. This is not just for them. This is for the memory of Khabib's father. And so if you really try to wrap your brain around that, like the stakes of the fight where Islam is going to be fighting for the championship, it's like hard to even like wrap your brain around, you know? Like, just try to honestly think about that. I don't know if you've ever had a person like that in your life where they've poured so much into you and you care so much about their approval, which seems very much like Khabib. A lot of kind of Khabib's entire, you know, who he is had to do with that, with Abdulmanap, and obviously Islam Makhachev probably as much or more so. And knowing that person's, you know, overarching vision for this whole thing that he's dedicated his whole life to is this thing, enough that Khabib retired and then poured himself into helping Islam and his other guys. And so like the level of like, at least for me, I don't have words to say how much responsibility I would feel if I was Islam fighting. Like I have to win, you know? I have to win. I fucking have to win. And I have to do it for a reason that's much bigger than I'm fighting for a UFC title, or much bigger than like, oh, you know, I get a win bonus, like 1,000 times bigger than that. And given that the stakes are that, right? Given that that's what this fight represents, it can't be against fucking Dariush, man. It has to be against Charles. It fucking has to be against Charles. You know what I mean? Like his whole life, this whole journey has led to this fight. All the shit with like his whole childhood, all of the training he's done with Abdulmanap, with Khabib subsequently, all the talks that they've had about fighting day in, day out. I know what it's like. These guys that are fully all in on this. It's all they talk, it's all they do. It's all they are. All of it leads to this fight. It has to be against fucking Charles, man. It can't be against Dariush. There's nothing against Dariush. He's just not the champion. He's not the fucking champion. So Islam can't win a vacant lightweight belt and that be him accomplishing this incredible lifelong vision and dream. It can't be that, dude. It's got to be Charles. So Charles, you fucking better go, dude. And here's the thing, dude. I'm not saying, hey, Charles, get up there and go get your ass kicked. I'm saying, Charles, go in there and fight your fucking balls off and know that's what you're up against. You know, that's what you're up against. And you, a person who went through all of the shit that you went through. I watched Patrick Avia's documentary. I watched Mix Molly's documentary. Like I saw Charles' upbringing, abject poverty, fought his way out of abject poverty for real. And Islam, with his own story, is trying to take that from you. He wants to take the thing that you earned. And he has that much riding on it. Does he have more riding on it than you? Like when you hear that, are you inspired by his story? Or are you like, fuck you, I've got 10 reasons that are equal to that? Like, that has to be what it is. It has to be. And again, I will reiterate this too. You can't get any better than, like, as an MMA fan, than fucking Charles versus Islam. It's as close to Khabib versus as close to Khabib versus Charles as you're going to get, most likely, unless Charles beats Islam and then is, disrespectful and calls out Khabib. Who knows? But obviously the most incredible dream fight would be Charles against Khabib if Khabib came back. I went through this phase where I really believed that there was a high likelihood that if Islam lost and like Charles really beat his ass and then was disrespectful and then called Khabib out, that Khabib would feel obligated to come back. And I actually I was talking to Chandler one time. I was like texting with him and I'm like, dude, what if this, I was going through all these like fucking insane scenarios where he would make $1 billion, you know? Like I was just like, okay, think about this shit, dog. What if dirt, and somehow I got to a place where he's fighting against Khabib with the belt, like he has the belt and Khabib comes back to challenge, is whatever. This is, you know, we're playing I'm playing fucking, you know, musical chairs in hypothetical land. And he was like, that'd be awesome, but Khabib's not coming back. And I was like, dude. And at the time I really thought that I you know, that he might. And then maybe 4 days later, I watched Khabib giving his Hall of Fame speech, which was incredible. And then I texted Chandler, I just watched his Hall of Fame speech. You're right. He's not coming back. That completely changed my mind. Khabib's amazing, dude. Like I'm serious. Like he's one of the most likable fucking dudes in the world. If you watch that fucking Hall of Fame speech and don't have a feeling of simultaneous just fucking laughter and like you're being moved, like it's like moving and you're laughing at the same time, you know? He's like looking at it, he's reading these things out loud. You know, I think Ali may have given him like flashcards. It's like, here, talk about this. You know, he's not gonna give him like a whole speech, but it was like, you know, he's like, what does championship mean to me? Okay, let's talk. as if it's in his head, you know? He's saying it into the microphone before he starts talking. It's fucking hilarious, dude. But he's awesome. He's fucking awesome, dude. He really is. But yeah, I mean, again, this fight has to be Charles and Islam. It has to be Charles and Islam. It has to. I love this sport, man. I fucking love this sport. I love it. I love it. I love it. I fucking love it. I love making videos. I love doing podcasts. I love this shit. I love it. I fucking love it. So help me grow the channel if you don't mind. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys.